What's up, everybody? It's Matt from Night and Day Performance, back with another build, another video, and it's nighttime. This is Night and Day Performance, and we are here at night under the night skies because we have a special build. One of our customers called us and said, hey, look, man, I don't care what it takes, what we have to do. I need this truck ready for this coming weekend. He has a race coming up on Friday. None of the other shops in the area could fit him in. Don't worry, we can take care of you though. As Hemi specialist, Night and Day Performance is the great option for all of your Gen 3 Hemis as well as your LS and LT vehicles, because we work on GM Performance as well. Behind me is a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. If you don't know what it is, producing around 707 horsepower from the factory out of a supercharged 6.2 liter V8, which is known as the Hemi by all of the Dodge community. This SUV packs enough power and all-wheel drive ability to go pretty much anywhere you want to go. No matter if you want to go to the beach, if you want to go to the drag strip, if you want to just cruise downtown with your family, it's a vehicle that you can do almost anything with. But what you can also do with it is hurt a lot of feelings. So with this one, being that it is 700 horsepower, all-wheel drive, it's ready to pack a punch and surprise everyone that's in the seat with you, and the passenger seat and the driver's seat and the rear seats. It surprises everybody in the car if you're not ready for what's coming. But this customer told me one issue. He's competing in the daily driver class because his other race car is not ready yet. But this vehicle is stock. That's not gonna help him. He wants to make sure that he has a little bit more of an advantage on the rest of the guys there. So what we're gonna do now is we called FRP. Ryan came over, delivered us parts earlier today. So we have the 2.89 FRP upper pulley that we're gonna put on. We're gonna pin the crank. We're going to go ahead and take the cam out. We're gonna put the FRP Titan 2 cam in it. We're gonna go ahead and get FIC 1200cc injectors in it. And we're gonna get this thing ready to go right down the track and add about 150 to 200 horsepower to the wheels from what this one already has. A lot of people don't realize that whenever they hear factory numbers on these vehicles, 700 horsepower is not what it makes to the wheels. So if you go and get your vehicle and say you drop this off at a shop and you just got, say you got cam done, or you got a pulley swap that was gonna add 70 horsepower, 80 horsepower, whatever you just select, and you get it back and it makes 700 horsepower, but you had 707 before, which you actually did not. What we do on the dynos and what we do when we're tuning them is we are checking the horsepower at the rear wheels, or on this case all-wheel horsepower, what it's actually putting to the ground. Whenever you get a factory vehicle, what they're actually measuring is how much horsepower is coming out of the engine by itself, not connected to a transmission, a drive shaft, axles, wheels. All of these items give you what's considered like a parasitic loss. It has to move that power all the way through the drivetrain, and even with an all-wheel drive system, it makes it even worse because you have more moving parts that are connected to this engine. Think of it as basically something holding it back. So on average right now, a Jeep Trackhawk is probably going to make around 580 to 600 to the wheels, not 700 to the wheels. This one right here, we're trying to get over 750 to the wheels. So like I said, we're gonna do a cam kit, we're gonna do upper pulleys. Basically, he said, hey, whatever you can do and get it back to me quickly in the next few days, that's what we want to do. Normal situations, we do not do a cam kit and all this in a couple days, but for this guy, we're gonna take care of him. We're gonna make sure that everything's right. We're gonna get it knocked out of the park, and Ryan is waiting for me to download this tune and send it over to him so that he can get started on the calibration, and we're gonna see what we can't do to get this guy back on the road. So today is, well, it was Tuesday earlier. I'm starting this build now. It is midnight, so now it is technically Wednesday. So we have today, Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday it needs to be done. So I have 48 hours, 2 days to get this vehicle torn down, everything swapped, put back together, checked for leaks, checked for anything wrong with it, tuned, and delivered to the customer. Do you guys think we're gonna make it? Let me know down in the comments if you think we're gonna make it, and we'll see if we prove you right or wrong. If you guys are looking for cam kits and all these parts that you see us doing on the channel, nightandayperformance.com is where I have cam kits, I have headers, I have exhaust, I have miscellaneous parts for your engine, and anything you need for your Gen 3 Hemis, your LSs, your LTs, If you don't see it on the website, shoot us a message. 9 times out of 10 we have it. It's just not posted on our website because we just haven't uploaded it yet. But enough of me yapping and talking about this. I'm gonna give you guys a quick preview of this Jeep Trackhawk, and then we're gonna jump right into the build, get this bumper knocked off. And if you don't know how to take it off, it's very similar to the Durango. I'll leave the link to that video in the description on how to remove a Durango bumper. It's the same thing for the Jeeps. They're the same platform. Without further ado, let's check out what this Jeep really looks like. All right, so as you can see, we went ahead and got the bumper taken off. To take the bumper off, like I said, it's very similar to the Durango. Only difference is going to be on your sides here on the SRT models. You're going to have to lift this up, which is going to separate a little bit here. That's just double-sided tape. But you want to lift this up and then pop the bumper out from underneath it. And as you can see there, the bumper is off in one piece. No issues. And then for here, for clearance wise, because of what we're doing, if you take these bolts that are out of this cross member right here, the support, it gives you access to your radiator and everything that's right here, which makes it a lot easier to pull this stuff out. So we're going to pull out everything except for the AC condenser. The AC condenser, I'm just going to kind of roll it out the way. Basically, you see here, these are coolant lines for supercharger. Doesn't really matter if I disconnect these because I got to refill the system anyways because I'm taking the supercharger off. So I'll take this off. I'll leave the AC condenser, take the radiator off, take the fans off, and then we'll get ready to start taking the supercharger off, the intake off, things of that sort. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and pop the intake off just for clearance wise. Pop these few clips here, a couple little flatheads or 8mm, and I'm going to pull this intake off. That way we can go ahead and get the rest of the build and get the blower off. Because what we're doing, like I said on this one, is we're changing this pulley out for a smaller pulley, which is going to generate more boost. Boost is the pressure basically going in the motor. The more pressure we can get in, the more fuel we can add to the mixture, the more power we can make, the more power that comes out of the motor. So we're going to do that. Once we start turning this up, we're going to want to do one thing called pinning the crank, which I'll show you guys. I also have a video on how to pin a crank with the ATI dampener. This one's a little different on these because I'm not using an ATI on this one. So we're going to pin the crank, but I'm going to take the whole face off of this motor because we're putting a cam kit in it as well. And I'm actually going to leave the heads on. This is a very low mileage car. The guy just got it a few weeks ago. I think it has like 40,000 miles on it. Customer said he's going to replace the lifters later on down the line. He's not worried about them. He doesn't have issues. And these are already the Hellcat lifters that we put in the cam kits anyways. There's no MDS systems in the Hellcats, so we don't have to worry about that issue. So we're going to go ahead and just swap the cam. I'm going to do the valve springs in the Jeep as long as it doesn't make me mad. If the Jeep makes me mad, I'm probably just going to rip the heads off. It depends. We'll get to that when we get to that portion of it. But for right now, like I said, I'm going to work on getting these taken out. I'm going to take the coolant hose off from the top first. And the easiest way to do it is take a shop vac, put it on here. Once you put a shop vac on it, suck as much of it out as you can. Go to the bottom, do the same thing. That way we can get as much of the coolant out so it doesn't go all over the floor. The fans are going to come out pretty simple. Usually there's a 10 millimeter on one side, 10 millimeter on the other side, and it slips out. So we'll get that out the way, intake out the way, and I'll catch you guys back here in a minute once I get those off, and we'll discuss a little more on what we're doing to this build. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys here in a few minutes. Enjoy the music in the background. I might even start talking to describe some fun facts about the Jeep that you might not know. When the Jeep Trackhawk was introduced to the world, it was known as a beautiful Jeep Grand Cherokee packing a 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi known as the Hellcat engine. With 707 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 3.4 seconds, this all-wheel drive SUV can get you where you need to go quick, fast, and in a hurry. Noted as one of the most affordable high-performance SUVs you can get, with a price starting at around $90,000, which granted, yes, is very expensive. But what you're getting is the ability to have something as fast as a sports car, but have something you can also carry all your kids, all your luggage, all your stuff to go to the golf course, pretty much anything you needed to do. You could even take this Jeep Trackhawk, put off-road tires on it, and go out and have fun just as Jeeps are meant to do. With the Jeep Grand Cherokee's platform, it's known as the family fun SUV as it is. Now we've added the dad mod into it, where the guys that want to get rid of the muscle cars can still go out and have fun. The only thing is, if you're going to give the keys to your wife, you might want to give her the black key. Well, we're going to jump back into it, guys. Catch you here in a few. Alright, so if you're still tuning in with us, I appreciate you guys for tagging along. Up to this point, as you can see here, we have the radiator off, the fans off. I leave the AC system just because it's sometimes a pain to get the AC systems charged back exactly how the customer had them before. So I always leave them intact unless I absolutely have to take them out. So with this one, as you can see, I took the trans lines off and I capped them off. Little rubber caps so that they don't leak out, so we don't lose too much trans fluid. And it's disconnected from here. So all we have is the trans cooler portion there. And then what you can do is you can just take this part when the time comes, and you can lift it up out of the way, and there's plenty of room to put a cam in. So that's one way to do that. I've also disconnected the wiring harness on both sides of the motor. Just all the plugs on the injectors on both sides. Took the throttle body off so I could get to this vacuum line because it's a little hard to get off with it on. Set our lines over here. Disconnected our injectors there, disconnected our fuel line back there, and the sensors. There's one more sensor that you can't really reach from the front until you slide the supercharger forward a little bit. So we'll do that in a little bit. Now, all these 10s, these long ones, I'm gonna go ahead and take these out of the supercharger, and we're gonna go ahead and get the supercharger pulled off the motor. Yes, I could just lift it up just enough to go ahead and pull the snout off so that I could change the pulley, but I'm just going to pull the whole supercharger off. I have new gaskets anyways for it, and it kind of gets stuff out of the way. The more stuff out of the way, the easier it is to work on the motor. So, time for me to go ahead and knock out getting the supercharger ripped off of the motor. And I guess I'll tag you guys along with me, and I'll bring you a little closer so you can just watch the process.
Gaskets.